Hello and welcome. My name is Mandy VanHavermaet. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I have got two really cute alternatives to the Sending Good Thoughts Paper Pumpkin Kit, which is the kit from July of 2022. Super cute kit. It's got a really neat looking stamp set. The stamp set is this right here. Let's put some paper. Woo! Things are flying. Put some paper behind it. It's got some really cute stamps. It's got this cute little ship. That is awesome. The sentiments are sending good thoughts, thinking of you, can't wait to see you, and wishing you all the best. And then it's also got a little seahorse, some starfish, looks like some seaweed plant, and a message in a bottle. And that's kind of what the theme of this kit is message in a bottle, and the bottles are very prominent. So I am going to show you though two alternatives to using just instead of just maybe designing the cards that come with the kit. So let's get started. The first one I'm going to make is actually a shaker card, and I am so excited to share this one with you. It is super, super duper cute. And of course, when you're using photopolymer stamps, which are the stamps that come in the paper pumpkin kits, we like to use a Stampin' Pierce mat that gives your image that you're stamping just a little nicer, crisper image. So I'm going to have that handy. First, I am going to start with, I love it. I really like to use the elements of the kit just a little bit different. So I've already cut one of the Bermuda Bay card bases in half. I've already used the 1/2. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to cut it at 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm making a panel, a nice panel to use. So that I'm going to, I've cut that at 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. It's not good. We're gonna stop now. I've used the embossed panel that was the it looks like the waves and the sky. It's got beautiful embossing on it, the clouds and the waves of the ocean. So cute. And I just cut that right in half. So this is cut at 2 5/8, and that gave me 2 panels of equal size. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the deckled rectangle die, and this is a die that of course didn't come with this set, but I am going to cut out the center of that Bermuda Bay card panel. Okay, so I'm going to run to my cut and emboss machine and do that quick. And don't be afraid to use things that are in your stash to make your paper pumpkin kits extend a little further. Sometimes we like to, it's fun to create different elements, something totally not what was intended and designed with the kit. So I'm going to use this part of the deckled rectangle, the actual rectangle, on my next card. So I'm going to set that aside. This is the part I'm going to use for this card. So I'm going to take my fresh freesia base and fold that in half and burnish it. And I love the way that these colors go together. So fun. And what I'm going to do is, I've got a piece, and it's clear, so I've just disappeared on me. I've got a window sheet, and I have cut this at 4 1/2 by 3. So what I'm going to do is actually attach that to the back of this to make our shaker. So let's grab our Stampin' Seal and put that right on the back. And make sure you don't have any fingerprints on it. Wipe it off on your jeans or whatever. Make sure you don't have fingerprints, because those don't look as pretty as a nice clean sheet. Okay, so I've got that on my piece of Bermuda Bay. Okay, so now I am going to take, and these are the adhesive strips, and I'm going to cut them so that they fit nicely. So let's see here. My window here is cut at, my window opening is about 3 1/2 inches by 2 1/4 inches. So that's what I'm going to cut I'm going to cut a couple of these at 3 1/2 inches. So I'm just going to mark it gently with a pencil or a pen. Maybe a little bit more than 3 1/2. Cut those 2. And I'm just going to cut them. I'm actually going to use the edge there too, because why not, right? So we're going to put those 2 down. Right along the edge of our opening on the back. We're setting it right down on top of that window sheet, right along the edge of the deckled rectangle. But we don't want it to show through, so it's kind of a balance, right? We need to keep it away from the opening, but close enough that the shaker elements don't get lost. And now I'm going to cut 2 more, and these can go over the top because these 2 are exactly the length of the opening. These 2 can go over the top. It's going to do 2 things. They're going to keep our elements, our shaker elements in. It's also going to keep our panel lifted up evenly on our card. All right, super fun. And I'm going to take just a couple more pieces, and I'm actually going to use the edges because why not? And these are a little bit thicker than our regular dimensionals, but not a whole lot thicker. So keep that in mind also. If you don't want to mix and match using dimensionals with these, because they're going to be different thicknesses. Unless that's the look you're going for, then by all means, go for it. Couple more. One there. One there. And one more. You would think. I forgot to cut that one. There we go. All right. So now I am going to use these Effervescent Elements, and these are so cute. They're almost like little glass beads, and I thought they were so fun for an ocean look. So I've always got a spoon, and I actually have a spoon by my desk, mostly for mushing ink down into my stamp ink pads, but it works really nice for this too. So I'm going to put just a few of those in there, and I'm going to warn you, the big ones tend to kind of get stuck. They're like the same thickness as our foam strips. So now I am going to take off our backing. Shaker cards are so much fun, and they are really not as difficult, especially when you're dealing with squares. When you start making shaker cards, a more square shape is easier, in my opinion. So we are going to, I've got all the sticky off of that. I'm just going to roll those down because, like I said, those big ones tend to stay toward, like, get stuck, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to set this down on our piece and just make sure that it sticks good, right? And then I can peel off the rest of the backings. And this is a stunner because those Effervescent Elements, they roll around so nice. They're so cute. So, all right. And I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive on the back of my panel also, just because I want to make sure. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's set this down. And I love the color combination here, the Bermuda Bay with the fresh freesia and the Pacific Point. Oh, doesn't that just feels so oceany. I love it. Okay, so let's decorate our card. I'm going to pull in one of these sheets, and I thought that the seagulls would be cute because this kind of looks like a beach, looks like over the top of the ocean. So I'm going to pull out those seagulls, and then I'm also going to take one of these circles here, and that's what I'm going to use to put my sentiment on. I love Paper Pumpkin in that they've got all these elements, and you can totally create different looking things just based off what you see in the elements. So I'm going to put that kind of like that. Then I think this little guy is going to go right down right there. Oh, so cute. So let's do that. I'm going to use some glue dots, and you can use the glue dots that come with your Paper Pumpkin kit. That's totally fine. I just am going to use the ones off of my roll for time saving for video. So let's stick that guy right down there. And then put some on the back of this guy. So cute. So, so cute. And I think I'm going to, am I going to leave him? Nah, let's put him down a little farther. All right. Oh, I love it. So let's stamp our sentiment. Bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. I am going to use the Fresh Freesia ink pad. You most definitely can use the Bermuda based Stampin' Spot that comes with the kit. And I'm going to use the sentiment wishing you all the best. A really good all around greeting, right? It could be a birthday, could be a wedding, could be just a hello card. So there it is. Beautiful. All right, and let's use our seal, Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put that right there. And there's card number 1. Is that not the cutest thing? I love those Effervescent Elements. I just think they're just darling. So card number 1 is complete. Let's move on to card number 2. Okay, remember I said I was going to use this piece that I cut out of this card. So that I'm going to use. And then I am going to use the basic gray piece of cardstock. I'm going to use this one, which is actually embossed also. All 3 of the panels on this card kit are embossed, and it just gives it a nice, beautiful texture. And then I'm going to use the bottle, just this solid gray bottle, and I took the coral out of one of the die sheets, and then I also went ahead and I cut another deckled rectangle, so the next size smaller is what I cut. And that's what I'm actually going to stamp on. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to use the basic gray and also the Poppy Parade. So I'm sticking kind of with the colors that are in the kit. So I've got my ship, and you knew I was going to make a card with that ship. And then I've got the Sending Good Thoughts sentiment. So I'm just going to ink up my ship really well, and I'm going to stamp it towards the bottom of my rectangle, my deckled rectangle. I love that deckled rectangle. I think it's such a neat, oh no, I must have had, I've got an error. Let's see if I can fix it. This is the beauty of a photopolymer stamp. Oh, pretty close. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I don't, if you can spot the issue, then fine. But actually it's got a little bit of a shadow too. I think it's just fine. I'm going to leave it. You could absolutely flip this over and stamp it on this side. No problem whatsoever. So, but I'm going to leave it because I do not, unless you're really looking at that card, it's going to be just perfect. So, Sending Good Thoughts. I'm going to stamp that in Poppy Parade. I'm going to center it nicely. Sorry if you're looking at the top of my head or my nose. Beautiful. So cute. All right, let's assemble our card. Stick that aside. I'm going to fold and burnish my basic gray card base. Just like that. And this is a pretty simple card to put together. I'm going to put that panel right straight down on the basic gray card base. It's going to open from the bottom. So just like that. And then I'm going to, my plan is to put that bottle, that empty bottle right there. And I'm going to put the coral over the top, kind of off to the side a little bit. I love the color combination of Poppy Parade and Bermuda Bay. So beautiful. And then I'm going to place that right there and bump this guy up just a bit. So let's do it. Well, that is my plan. And remember, these are just ideas. There is no right or wrong way to use a paper pumpkin kit. They are a launch pad for creativity, which is fantastic. And I'm going to use just a little bit of glue, mostly because I want that to stick down a little bit, but I don't want it to, but the Stamp and Seal would be just a little bit much, be too thick. So let's stick that down off to the side just a little bit so it pops up. There we go. All right, what do you think? Should I put this directly on there and then bump it up? I think I'm going to, just to give that a little bit of room. So let's adhere this with our seal onto the deckled rectangle, the bigger deckled rectangle. And then it's going to go right on right there. Oh, so cute, using some dimensionals. Super duper cute. And this is actually a pretty good masculine card as well, in my opinion. I would have no problem sending this card to my brother or an uncle or a guy friend, most definitely. So let's put that, you know what, I'm going to stick it up just a little bit higher, just like that. There we go. Oh, card number 2. Stampin' Dimensional backing included. So those are my 2 cards. I hope you enjoyed these. If you have any questions about Paper Pumpkin subscriptions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.